We start with a simple scene with two animated characters, some particles, and a script. It contains a public animator, a name of the trigger, and on left mouse button click, it sets the trigger. We also have one sound of enemy being hit. The art I've used is a free package from the asset store. Links for the art and the sound are in the description. Now we need to change our enemy into the version with separated body parts. For this I've used GIMP. Then click on the created sprite, change sprite mode to multiple, hit apply, and open sprite editor. Now hit slice, leave the type on automatic and hit slice. Don't forget about clicking on apply in the top right corner. Now let's create a new empty object and reset its position. Let's name it enemy defeated. And put every body part inside of it. Let's go to the scene view and make sure that enemy defeated is a child object of enemy and its position is 0, and move every separated part to its original position. Now drag and drop your defeated enemy game object into project tab to make a prefab of it. You may delete it from the scene because now we can spawn it. Double click on your prefab to edit it, change the names of the parts if you want to, and holding on shift select all of the parts and add rigid body 2D there. Every part also needs its own capsule collider 2D. Now make every collider a bit smaller than a sprite related to them. If you can't match a shape of the collider and the sprite, you may use a polygon collider instead, or create a new child object inside the body part and move your collider there. Now you can easily rotate the collider. Let's create a code for destroying the enemy. We need a variable for our detected enemy, for our defeated enemy prefab, and on click we will call a new function. There we will instantiate our defeated enemy prefab, add detected enemy's position and the rotation set to 0. Now let's destroy the original enemy. Let's see how it works. Well, it looks like we need some kind of floor, so let's create a empty game object with a static rigid body 2D and a box collider 2D. Now it looks quite good, but I think we may add some forces to make it look better. Let's create a new empty game object, which is a child of our player. Let's call it blade collision point, and put it where the weapon collides with the enemy. It will be our collision point. To describe how strong is our force, let's use a float. Now we need to grab our instantiated defeated enemy prefab and use it to grab every rigid body 2D inside of it. Then we loop through each of them, calculate the difference between its position and the position of the collision point, normalize it to get the direction, and multiply this by force to get a push vector. Then we simply add a force using push vector. To make it look more realistic, let's delay our function. Of course, in a completed game we will replace it with some collision detection. Now let's add some particles. We need a public game object called particles prefab and instantiate it on collision point position. Make sure that particles looping is unchecked. Now let's quickly add a sound. We will only need a public audio clip. Then with one line of code we'll play it at audio listener's position. We need to play it there so Unity won't turn the sound down. And we are done. Please use the buttons below to let me know if you liked or disliked this video.